How do you show up at your best in front of a prospective client? How do you balance between getting the business and be clear about your offerings? Chemistry calls or discovery calls could be nerve-wracking. My name is Sharmin Banu. I've been coaching for 14 years. In this video, I'll talk about 5 mistakes coaches make during a chemistry call and how successful coaches avoid those mistakes. Before I go into those mistakes, let me talk about my personal journey. Over the years, many times after those chemistry calls, I felt bad. I did not show up the way I wanted to. There are 3 things got in the way from being the best coach I could be. Number 1, my self-worth was very much attached to getting this client. So I showed up as a performance rather than being open and curious for the client. Number 2, my attachment to growing the business. If I get this client, I have a better business. And that way, I did not show up the best way I could be. Number 3, biases. If I like the client or I had something against the client, both of them got in the way of me being curious for the client. But the good news is, with intentionality and self-work, we can be better. We can be more sophisticated about it. This is client-centric work. But if our self-centric thoughts occupies our mind, the resources are not available to be ready to be available for our client. Let's talk about those mistakes. Number 1, if the client asks you, tell me about your coaching approach, and you tell them your wonderful coaching approach. Instead, let them experience you. If they ask you, tell them, how about we explore this together? You experience my coaching approach. And after that, if you still have questions, I'm happy to answer those for you. Tip number 2, assuming coaching starts after they hire you. Actually, coaching starts the moment you start that session with that client, prospective client. Be curious. Ask probing questions. What brought them to coaching? What would successful coaching outcome would look like for them? Create an agreement at the moment. What if you and I explore these topics right now? Mistake number 3, missing the teaching moments. Many of these prospective clients do not know about coaching or ICF coaching. So take this opportunity to ask them about their understanding about coaching. What is the difference between ICF coaching and regular advice-giving kind of coaching? That's your time. Mistake number 4, forgetting to interview the client. This is a mutually fit call. As the client is interviewing you, you are interviewing the client. Ask yourself, is this the right client for me? Will I be excited to work with this client? Will I be able to show up my best with this client? And if the answer is no, feel free to say that in a kind way, of course. And you have the option to refer this client to another colleague of yours. Mistake number 5, forgetting self-care. Before and during the conversation, check in with yourself. How much attachment you are feeling? Do a simple breath, or maybe 2. It is a great way to release that attachment. There are many reasons why a client decides to work with a coach. I do not have control on those, but what I can control is how I show up and feel proud about my growth as a coach. Watching other coaching sessions is a great way to grow as a coach. And I have this exciting opportunity for you. Click on this video next, where there is a mentor coaching session. One MCC coach is giving feedback to another MCC coach. Please watch it now.